I've compiled 6 big science-backed tips after watching tons of videos, studying books by renowned gut health experts, and reading a bunch of scientific articles to help you take control of your gut. The 2 things we want to do to improve our gut is first, diversify our gut, and second, increase the amount of beneficial bacteria in our gut. Number 1, eat a Big Mac diet. Scientists name the carbs that feed our microbiota as MACs, microbiota accessible carbs, because not all carbs feed our gut. When our microbes break down or ferment these MACs, they produce the amazing, and write this down, short-chain fatty acids, which helps with the many issues mentioned before by strengthening the gut barrier, reducing inflammation, and even positively influencing our brain. So what foods are considered MACs? Fiber, a type of carb we cannot digest, especially ones that are derived from plants. It's also important that the type of MACs you are looking for are not found in McDonald's. If we starve our microbes of MACs, they start to munch on carbs elsewhere. Where? From the mucus lining inside of you. In other words, they start to feed on you. We might feel full from our daily breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but what about our microbes? Give your bacteria abundant, diverse food options and not just your mucus lining. The reality is, some of us might not have the microbes to break down specific fiber. For example, seaweed for some people. But the more diverse we get, the higher chance we have to acquiring these microbes. Prebiotics, which we commonly hear about so often, are MACs, which too feed the good bacteria and increase their number. Almost all plant-based fiber acts as prebiotics, as well as some others like omega-3, which can also promote good bacteria. In fact, most of the produce section in the grocery store should have big red signs and stickers saying contains prebiotics. Not only that, prebiotics can become food for probiotics, allowing them to become abundant. And even the fiber that doesn't directly feed our microbes are good for us, as they're effective in easing constipation, serving as bulking agents. Here's a quick cheat sheet you can screenshot of some MACs and dietary fiber intake based on age and gender. So next time you sit down and eat, look at your plate and ask yourself, are my trillions of dinner guests also getting enough food as well? Last video, we learned that your gut microbes might be manipulating your cravings and even interfering with your weight loss. There's a lot going on underneath the surface that we might not be aware of. And that's why I love BodyPod from HUME Health. I've already worked with HUME Health before, and the reason why I chose to work with them again is because I genuinely continue to use the body analyzer to keep on track with my health goals. I even packed and brought it with me whilst traveling. Many of us don't have the time or resources to pay upwards of $50 for an in-body scan each week. With the BodyPod, you can do it daily at the convenience of your own home, with results at a medical grade accuracy at 98%. Your health journey is more than just a number on a scale. A simple number can't tell you anything about whether you're gaining or losing weight because of fat or muscle changes. The BodyPod from HUME Health goes even deeper, measuring 40+ health metrics including body fat, BMR, and even the distribution of fat and muscle across your body. Turns out my left arm has more fat than my right arm, which I measured for myself and tested it to be true. I also appreciate this diagram because it tells me exactly where I've lost or gained muscle, allowing me to change up or tweak my workout plans. It's compact with 8 frequency sensors in the base and a retractable handle, easy to take with you wherever you go, and allowing up to 24 users to use the body analyzer, which is perfect to share with your family, friends, or partner. You can also get AI-powered personalized daily and weekly insights to improve your sleep, nutrition, and activity. You can use my code HANNAH on top of current sales for a massive discount. And if you have HSA or FSA, you can get it covered for free by your health insurance. Cut out the guesswork and learn more about your progress today with the BodyPod. Number 2, have more tourists in the gut. A common misconception we have is that probiotics stay in our gut. However, unlike our long-term bacterial residents that make up our microbiome, probiotics are only tourists or visitors. These tourists are helpful as they can help build the gut barrier, reduce inflammation, and fine-tune the immune system. They also take up space temporarily in our gut, stopping bad bacteria from growing. And the best source to find these beneficial probiotics is fermented food. These fermented foods include kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, natto, kombucha, yogurt, and pickles. When purchasing at the grocery store, read for unpasteurized or live cultures on the label. You can most likely find them in the refrigeration section. For example, stores have a huge selection of pickles that aren't fermented. These pickles are just trying to replicate the taste of fermented food, but in reality are just brined in vinegar. Some brands of kombucha are pasteurized, which destroys the probiotics. These mentioned methods are because they want to extend shelf life, so make sure you read carefully. High quality fermented food can be expensive, hard to find, or have too much sugar to mask the sour taste of fermented food. The solution? Make your own! I'm going to be starting a series where I try making my own fermented foods, so stay tuned for that and join me while you're at it. An important thing to note with probiotics is that one size does not fit all. It's best to test a variety variety of probiotics to see what works for you. So you may take some time in experimenting to find something that agrees with your gut microbiota. Any probiotics that cause painful bloating or digestive distress are not playing nice with your gut microbiota. Ideally, probiotics should promote regular bowel movements that are easy to pass. This might be TMI, but it's important to know that the ideal stool is smooth, soft, and easy to pass and comes out like a snake-like piece without cracking, which is an indication of constipation. Patience is required to observe these changes, so try for at least a week with a particular probiotic to determine its benefit, and move on to a different one if it doesn't help. And finally, for both fiber and fermented food, slow and steady wins the race. Gradually introduce these foods to your microbes, giving them time to adjust. This is an important way to help reduce bloating that can happen when your gut microbiome starts fermenting more. Number 3, touch grass, not sanitizer. We live in a microbial world. It seems that keeping it clean was not what nature intended. We went from a society where floors were made out of dirt and washing our produce meant brushing off the dirt with our hands. So now we're exposed to a less diversity of microbes. And we know that we need a diverse range of microbial residents to keep our gut happy. We not only get these microbes from our food, but also directly through the environment as well. For example, children raised in farms are much less likely to suffer from allergies and asthma because they have been raised in a less sterilized and more natural environment. So a good tip is to avoid over-sanitizing, which seems to become a bit of a trend on social media too. Does this mean to never take another shower again and to sleep in your snotty, crusty clothes? No. It means to ditch the hand sanitizer and use less toxic cleaners such as vinegar, castile soap, and lemon juice, which will increase our exposure to these microbes. Reducing the exposure to a variety of microbes might actually weaken our immune system by taking away the natural interactions they were designed to have. In other words, being overly clean could stop our immune system from learning how to tell a clear difference between real threats and harmless microbes, essentially disrupting their ability to function as they should. When our immune system isn't occupied and kept productive with external microbes, it may turn inward, overreacting to harmless substances or even attacking the body's cells. So increase the time you spend outdoors, meet more people, and don't be afraid to splash in some puddles and lie down on that beautiful grass. Number 4, cut down inflammatory food. If your gut bacteria could walk through your average grocery store, tasked with finding something to eat, they would find the equivalent of humans trying to find food at a Home Depot. The aisles of processed food outnumber what is considered real food. Excess inflammation, as we learned, is extremely harmful to our health. Food alongside stress are ways we can control this internal inflammation. Research shows food additives in processed foods, such as emulsifiers, artificial sweeteners, preservatives, and colors, flourish bad bacteria, disrupt the gut barrier, and trigger inflammation. The more we feed our gut with junk, the more junk-thriving microbes we will nurture in our gut. You really are what you eat. Alongside fermented food, one anti-inflammatory substance I've seen mentioned in both these books were flavonoids or polyphenols. These are found in foods such as cocoa, tea, and berries. A fun and rather cute tip to avoid inflammatory foods is to shop at your local farmer's market. Not only is it like a scene right out of a cozy book or game, but it has so much organic produce, encouraging to eat a variety of foods, whatever is in season. Healthy soil has tons of tiny microbes that interact with the plant's roots. This helps the plant to produce the good stuff, like polyphenols. Omega-3, once again, is another notable mention which can help with inflammation. Number 5, avoid antibiotics. Before we do that though, let's take a quick break. We're only gonna get deeper, so rest your eyes or grab yourself a drink. Speaking of drinks, it's time for our drink corner. It's a little segment I'm starting where I introduce to you the faces, story, and values behind the brands of my favorite drinks that I've been loving and also having while I'm filming. We're starting off the series with some beautiful matcha from Thea. Matcha, like gut health, has really blown up on social media over the past few years. As a non-coffee drinker, I've always loved green tea, and so when I was first introduced to matcha, alongside its many more benefits, it was such an easy and obvious swap. Since then, I've definitely spent a little too much money ordering matchas from cafes, but honestly, it's been a hit or a miss. So I've been on the search for good matcha to make at home over the past few months because it truly is an investment. And that's when I found Thea on Instagram. Thea is a New Zealand brand founded in 2016 by cousins May and Anna. I love that the name Thea is from the amino acid L-theanine, which promotes relaxation and provides a caffeine without the jitters. The co-founders of Thea tested over 50 matcha variants before settling on the signature blends sourced from the Kyoto and Mie regions of Japan. As I did more research about Thea and spoke to Anna, I learned some really interesting insights, like how ceremonial grade matcha being the best matcha is actually a misconception. It's a highly unregulated term and a Western marketing concept concept created to help consumers understand what quality to buy. One ceremonial matcha can taste completely different to another, so labeling it as such is misleading because it really oversimplifies and limits the diverse flavor profiles matcha can offer. So there's no best matcha, it really comes down to preference. I really appreciated the detail Thea put in describing the flavor profiles. So matcha girlies, let's stay educated and support brands that truly care. Number 5, avoid antibiotics. Antibiotics literally mean against life. It is true that both antibiotics and sterilization have been revolutionary in the history of medicine. However, we now know there's a not so bright flip side to the story, especially to do with our gut. The fact is, one round of antibiotics can decrease the gut variety by at least 30%. Most doctors initially prescribe broad spectrum antibiotics, often when the pathogen is unknown. Narrow spectrum antibiotics only target a few specific types of bacteria, whereas broad spectrum antibiotics doesn't discriminate between the bad bacteria that is causing infection and the good bacteria that we rely on. When this wildfire happens on our guts, it makes it vulnerable, making it the perfect opportunity for the seedlings of pathogens to take root in our gut. And the overuse of antibiotics can lead to antibiotic-resistant bacteria. To help reduce the need for antibiotics, prevention is key. Sleeping well and consuming a diet rich in nutrients and including probiotic foods can play a significant role in reducing the occurrence and duration of illness. Incorporating a daily glass of kefir or a bowl of yogurt into your morning routine can also contribute to strengthening your immune system. And when flu season is near, it's helpful to be extra cautious with your hand washing. And remember, antibacterial soap is no better than normal soap. It can actually do more harm than good. Number 6, don't eat when you're stressed, angry, or sad. We all know that feeling, right? When stress hits or when you're feeling down, suddenly that bag of chips, big bowl of noodles, or whatever your comfort food may be seems incredibly appealing. When we experience negative emotions, it can disrupt the balance between the gut and the brain. It makes the gut lining weaker and causes the gut wall to release chemicals like norepinephrine, the steroid for your bad bacteria. It can also reduce important members of your gut community. So these comfort foods, which are most likely not to be healthy in the first place, alongside the effects of stress, makes it the perfect breeding ground for bad bacteria. So before you eat, take a moment to scan your body and your mind and really tune into your emotions. Are you truly hungry, or is something else driving that urge? If you find yourself really wanting to eat when you're feeling these emotions, try your best to avoid processed food as they can add to the turmoil inside your gut. And try to reduce stress not through food, but by incorporating breathing exercises and mindfulness. Getting enough sleep is vital for managing stress, improving the gut, and even weight loss. More on weight loss and sleep is in the video over here, or share a meal with the people you love. Just as negative emotions can affect your gut, positive emotions are likely to harbor benefits in your gut as well. Our gut microbiota is so responsive to dietary changes. The main determinant of achieving and maintaining gut diversity is long-term dietary patterns. And if you're watching this video groaning over the fact that you have to eat your vegetables, just remember it's the small steps that make the biggest differences. It's hard to make a difference and change overnight, from cookies to carrots, but just know you can indeed retrain your taste palette. Be consistent in incorporating your fiber and then slowly aim to increase your diversity. Do it for the microbial community within you, who with the right care can blossom into a beautiful garden that in turn takes care of your immune system, mind, and weight loss. And with that said, that is the end of this video. If you found this video helpful and want to support the channel so that I can continue to bring you valuable, easy to digest information on health, please subscribe. And by liking this video, it really helps to push this video to reach more people who, like you, I hope will learn new things. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless you guys. You got this.